What up, family? Welcome to Recovering Addict. I'm your host, LT, and I am alcoholic addict.
I'm Felice Weaver, and I'm married to an alcoholic addict.
You guys are going to be so disappointed in me. Cassie sent me her video, and I forgot to edit it. So while I'm talking, I'm going to try to open this software, edit this video, and watch how much we glitch. But hey, it's all for the cause, right? It's all for family. Because I'm about to open up Premiere Pro and edit a video, and that's going to cause my computer to go Arr. But how's everybody doing tonight? I got some cool news for you guys. We had something really, really cool happen this morning. If you live in Utah, Alicia, are you here? Alicia, you in the house? Say what's up if you're in the house, because we had something really cool happen today. We had KSL, which is a local broadcast company. It's kind of like Fox or Channel 3 or Channel 4 or whatever. They came over to our house and interviewed Felice and I about recovering addict, about staying sober in COVID, during the COVID season, what we've been doing. Had my sponsor, Dale, was here, and it was all good. So that'll be coming out soon. When that does come out, I will make sure. Alicia, did you hear what I just said? KSL came out this morning, camera crew, interviewer, her name's Heather. She interviewed us this morning. It was really, really awesome. Got to interview my sponsor, and we just told him what's going on, how we stay sober during this COVID-19 thing, how this is going. So it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Who are we hanging out with today? Oh, thank you, Pamela, for subscribing. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at here? We got Facebook user. I imagine
Epi
that is
got
Epi.
his new shirt today.
Epi got a new shirt.
And a
Shree.
bookmark.
Our Australia family. Desmond, what's going on? Derek, how you doing, brother? How you feeling today?
Hey, all you
I'm feeling good. I got a clogged nose. I haven't been right since my allergies kicked off that one day, but
for sure, LT's making me sick.
probably. Mr. Teeter, can't wait for Friday.
I know.
Amber Hatfield in the house. Amber, how you feeling? How you doing today? Don't forget to hit that like button, just like Sheree said. Roll credits. JJ Johnson, how you doing, brother?
Hey, JJ.
Big Hump in the house. TJ's in the house, sober as can be. How many of y'all stayed sober today? Yeah, you have to keep your eye out for that, Alicia. I know you're probably the only one that knows what KSL is, unless they have KSL in other states. Is KSL just a Utah thing?
What's it even
I
stand
don't even know
for?
what it stands for.
I'm gonna Google it.
I've been searching KSL my whole life. That's where we used to go look for jobs, the KSL jobs.
There's still KSL jobs?
I don't know. I remember when I used to open up the yellow pages and just circle things and then start calling them, hey, you hiring? Hey, you hiring? But today we're going to talk about admitting mistakes. The chapter is 13, admitting errors, admitting you're wrong. If you're wrong, how do you admit it? And why don't you want to? Ooh.
There's so many things KSL can stand for.
Aaron, how are you feeling? How are you doing today? Good to see you. Big Hump. Oh, yeah, we appreciate you guys too. Like I said, man, you guys don't even know how accountable you hold me, how much you push me in my recovery to be the best self I can be here and off stream, and literally taking the program seriously and trying to change my mind and not just seeing my side of things. If I'm wrong, I'm going to try to do a step 10 and admit it. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. What do you do when you are wrong and you just don't want to admit it? And what kind of power it gives us? It's kind of weird. Remember when we were talking about omnipotence, that we want to be powerful? Step one, we have to admit we're powerless. All our lives, we thought we were in control, even though the building's crashing down around us. This has to do with admitting you're wrong. And we'll get into that. Murd. Yeah, Gravedigger. This is an old one, man. I don't even know where this just showed up in my closet. I haven't wore this shirt for like...
Millie probably wore it as pajamas.
I haven't worn this shirt for at least 2 years, and all of a sudden there it was in my closet. I put it on him all linked. Does this look too tight? He's like, no, you look great, Dad. As I'm sitting here constricted and not being able to breathe.
Got a corset on.
That's my favorite monster truck driver. We got to see him in Salt Lake one time. That was pretty cool. Lori and Amber, how you guys doing? Petey, my brother Petey. Petey has not proven everybody wrong. Petey has proven him to himself that he is worthy and can do it.
Nobody knows what KSL stands for.
Sunday.
Like what?
Grave digger. Did I clean my room? I pick it up and then it gets trashed. I pick it up and then it gets trashed. Clean it? No. I still got spilled popcorn next to my bed that I need to clean up. But we did clean the whole house and the front yard because KSL was here.
Yeah, that's as far as we got. We didn't make it past the hallway.
You know how you do when the guests come over? Yeah, you just shut the door. Clean enough. Shut the door. Let's get into our AA thought of the day. Is today June 18th? I hope so. That's what I'm reading.
Yep.
All right, so the AA thought of the day is the AA way of living. It's not an easy one, but it is an adventure in living that is really worthwhile. And it is so much better than our old drunken way of living that there is no comparison. Ain't that the truth? Holy cow. Our lives without AA, and you can throw NA in this. And when we say alcohol, say drugs, whatever. Our lives without AA or NA would be worth nothing. With AA, we have a chance to live reasonably good lives. It's worth the battle, no matter how tough the going is from day to day. It's worth it. No matter how tough the battle is from day to day, it is worth staying on track, staying in recovery, and getting to know yourself. Take it as a challenge. Say, I'm going to figure out the psychology of myself, and I'm going to win this battle by having a standard, a moral character that I'm going to live toward. And when your body and your mind start wanting to go left, you're going to yank it back to right. And that's definitely easier said than done, because you know how emotions can rattle you just instantly. Your hands start shaking, your adrenaline starts pumping, you get cotton mouth. And to try to control your mind when your emotions are controlling your body without your permission is very difficult. Trust me, I know. Sometimes the phone rings and I get like that. Here's our meditation of the day. The spiritual life has two parts. One is the life part, life apart, the life of prayer and quiet communion with God. You spend this part of your life apart with God. Every day your mind can be set in the right direction so that your thoughts will be of the right kind. The other is the life in part, imparting to others what you have learned from your own meditative experience. The victories you have won over yourself through the help of God can be shared with others. You can help them by imparting to them some of the victory and security that you have gained in your life apart. Interesting. So here's our prayer of the day. I pray that I may grow strong from my times apart with God. I pray that I may pass on some of the strength to others.
Amen.
Amen. I like it.
Hi, Erin, my soon-to-be next-door neighbor.
Erin, our soon-to-be next-door neighbor.
Virginia, what up? Carmen, hello. Hello. And Aubrey, our Australian friend. Hello.
We recover better together.
Yours is my favorite. So far.
Yeah,
Don't tell
everybody
else.
Throw up our thing and tell them what we're talking about when we do that. And I'm going to start editing.
So we're trying to get a whole bunch of y'all to send us some video to recoveringaddict8@gmail.com of you saying our tagline, we recover better together. So we can make a cool montage about it and make it awesome. So far, we've got quite a few. I don't know, handful.
Yeah, we definitely got about a handful.
So if you're out there and
Got
you have a recording device that can take video, some people call it a cell phone, take a video of yourself saying, we recover better together.
Aubrey, we're making fun of you.
Aubrey, yours is the best. To recoveringaddict8@gmail.com.
Yep.
And we'll make it awesome.
Any other announcements?
Any other announcements? Is there one I'm forgetting?
Tell them about the Zoom meetings.
We have Zoom meetings. I can't remember what days.
Aubrey's is Wednesday at 6.
Aubrey's is Wednesday at 6. And yours, did you come up with the time? Saturday?
Saturday at 3 is the one we always
Saturday
have.
at 3. I know you were doing a poll. So I'm going to put the links. Sorry, my throat's all tickly. So y'all can join our Facebook and get updates on our Zoom meetings. And there's Facebook. I'm also going to put the link so you guys can join the Discord. And you can also get updates there about Zoom meetings. I love being in Aubrey's meeting with all y'all from
Australia.
And apparently it's winter in Australia. Would you guys say like 4 degrees Celsius or something? Who uses that? That's definitely hoodie and shorts weather, flip flops.
Yeah,
sure.
70 degrees.
Yeah, 70. Is that what that is, Aubrey?
He said 46, 70 degrees. That is definitely shorts weather.
Yeah.
Would it be all right to put my email address on here? Absolutely.
Yeah, share it out, man.
What
But
is?
Don't send your We Recover Better Together to him. Send it to us.
What's your intention? Do you want people to reach out to you so that you can help them out in need? Definitely. If you want, throw it on our private Facebook group if you're a part of that. Yeah, I'm all about recovery. If you got anything to share about recovery, if you want to reach out or throw yourself out there and have people, say, hey, if you guys need support, start emailing me here and I will be your prayer warrior. I'll be your whatever. I could be your voice in the middle of the night when you're phone. I don't know, whatever you're thinking. But I'm all for recovery. Anything we can do to help each other, anything we can do to push each other, anything we can do to comfort, even just to listen. I liked what Frank said yesterday. In his hardest times of being an addict, he would just go and just sit at somebody's house he knew he wasn't going to get high at. The guy didn't have to talk to him, didn't have to sit. He said the guy could just go to bed. Just let me sit in your living room. Just let me know I can sit in this safe place. And a lot of times that's a great friend to have. Somebody that will just let you come over and just shake everything off. Escape. A safety escape. You know what I mean? If you need a phone friend, and all you want to do is not sit on the other side of the line and just have somebody listen, oh man, I'm all for it. Anything we can do to help each other recover, I'm an advocate for. Hi, Mom. My mommy's all in the house. Hey, Sky, how you doing?
Hey, Discord is a app, right?
Discord is an app. Yep. It's just like a group text. It's almost like what's that one, Chat Me or whatever? It's really similar to all that. It's just a group chat. You can upload some stuff and upload pictures and just keep chatting with you 24/7. Just get on in there. Last time I threw myself out there, I nearly got hit by a train. Don't make me laugh. I'm going to cough. We could do a double video for something different. We can do whatever you want, Sheree. Give me some ideas. I love ideas.
Sheree, you need to send us a bunch of you dancing so we can put it to music.
Another thing is I'm going back to producing videos because my channel needs 5 to 10 minute little filler videos to get out there in the YouTube algorithm and stuff. But I want them to be really powerful, really poignant, and offer a lot of value. So any ideas you can send me. And if you want to collab with me and be a part of one of the videos, I'm down. I'll do a part. You send me a part and I'll edit all our parts together and you'll be in recovery. You guys are a part of this channel. I want you to be a part of it. You don't have to pay a patron. You don't have to do, if you do support us, thank you very much.
Yes,
just to know we are striving to do this full time. We just got our 501c3 back. This is a legit nonprofit. We've got on KSL today. This is going to be something very good where we can just give. You know what I'm saying? That's what this Recovering Addicts about, is just give, give, give. And those of you who are led to support, thank you, and thank God for the prompting. But literally, if you want to be a part of a video, John, I know you're eloquent with your words. You got a good setup. Aubrey, Sheree, any of you, I don't care. Des, Jad, whatever. If you got an idea for a video and you want to be a part of it, we can work together. Send me clips. I'll edit them. I'll upload them to YouTube, and we'll forever be a part of growing this channel. And then we got conferences set up that are going to happen down here locally. And if you have the ability to get out to Utah to come to these conferences, I would highly suggest it. That's in the works of Recovering Addict. We got a lot more bigger things going on behind the scenes. Who said he was on his 4th NA meeting today? Oh, that was Chad.
Yeah, he's got another question.
Most intimidating so far. Still can't bring myself to speak. Hey, it's okay. I asked somebody at the end about finding a sponsor, and they said to pick someone whose story inspired me and asked.
Right there.
Raised my blood pressure. Online sponsor thing. In-person meetings are essential. Do I think they are essential? Okay, I'm going to speak personally to you, Chad. Everybody's different. And I think getting out of your comfort zone is a very valuable thing in your recovery, because all we've ever done is what we've ever done. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. I think to get the fact that you went to 4 and just sat there and let people look at you and know by the look in your eyes that you're an addict in recovery, and the fact that you approached somebody at the end, that was getting out of your comfort zone. You grew a little bit today. I always had it explained like this. Your comfort zone is this big, right? You got a circle. Here's your comfort zone. Everything you do in life is just right here. But if you get out of your comfort zone grows just a little bit. And if you get out of it again, and it grows and grows and grows as you grow. And it's funny, I learned that as a Kirby salesman, believe it or not, but that has inspired me for my whole life. I would say they are essential only because when you are on a Zoom meeting, when you are on live like this in the chat, you can't really express fully what you're saying, and you can't really language speaking here understand fully either. You know how text messages can get messed up through, what depends on the mood I'm in when I receive your text, how I'm going to read it, even though you may be in a completely different mood. But to be face to face with somebody, I could say something on a Zoom meeting where the audio doesn't cut quick enough and you miss a little thing that would help prompt the conversation into something else. But when you're live and when you're together face to face, you have body language you can react to, you can see each other's eyes. There's just more of a cognitive special connection between people, I think, face to face. So I would say that is more valuable for sure. Although if at first if you're worried about it, just do what you can to go to those. You don't have to go there, be the most awesome speaker, be the best volunteer, the serviceman of the hour. Just go there and listen. And if you want, catch some extra Zoom meetings during the week if you're more comfortable, because you want to take it easy. Easy does it, right, in recovery. So don't, oh boy, AA and NA meetings, they're essential. I better go put myself out there. And you leave the meeting more stressed out than you were when you got there. The idea of the meeting is to center yourself, to realign yourself with your recovery, to alleviate stress. If they're stressing you out that bad, that could be a negative thing. So I would say go when you can and make it a point to go. And if it's a little uncomfortable, push yourself, you know what I mean? But don't overdo it. Don't stress yourself out. And if you're more comfortable with Zoom meetings and you can do extra Zooms or, even this educational type channel stuff, do that. 100% TJ. I agree. Hi, Carmen.
That's Naomi.
Hi, Naomi. Hey, Sawyer House. Y'all in the house? I sent a book and I looked at the tracking, and now the tracking is not for Friday. It's not for like another week. So y'all be getting that soon.
21 days. That a girl. Good job, Naomi.
Naomi's 21 days
Back
today. Yes, at a girl.
You guys have been doing really good since the last.
Since your guys' bloop, 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 bloop. You and Dog Kirby Salesman. Dog the Bounty Hunter? That's what I was thinking about.
Somebody dog, it's definitely the bounty hunter.
Dude, that was probably one of the most valuable life lessons I've ever had in my entire life, was to learn how to go knock door to door and meet somebody, and within an hour have them buy a $2,000 vacuum and learn the process. You'd talk about getting out of your comfort zone. But it was very, very, very valuable in my life. Let's see if this worked. All right, here we go. Hold on. I'm going to upload this. This may glitch out on us here in a second. But I think it's going to work. I cannot disappoint Cassie. She's my cousin, and I love her. Go ahead. You're in control. You can read it, too. You got to help my voice out tonight.
Mine's all tickly, too. It's rude. This is my only connection and I'm loving it. Take what you need and leave the rest. Hashtag supplement.
Big hump.
Exactly. This is a supplement to
Then-
real people.
On that note, Big Hump, you're right. Your recovery is your recovery. I can't tell you how to do your recovery. I know what I know what I need in recovery. And I know the kind of person I am. I need to push myself. I need to get right to the, I don't know what you call it, get right to the edge. I got to push myself to the uncomfortableness zone. That's where I thrive the best. That's where I work the hardest and I do better. So that's just me knowing me being 40, you know what I mean? 41.
Teeter's
actually.
experience is he's 90 days and he has yet to do a face-to-face AA meeting. This is his AA meeting.
There you go. Michael Teeter's yeah, y'all in the chat,
Everybody's different.
throw us your ideas. What y'all think?
Cherie, Chad, I went to 3 meetings a week for over a month before I first spoke, and even then, all I got out was, hello, I'm Cherie, and I'm an alcoholic, and then sobbed my eyes out.
That's like Felice when it's her turn to talk in family group or on the news this morning. The lady's like, she's sitting there all proper, the camera's on us. And she looks at Felice. So let's hear your experience in this. Felice is like, whoa.
Hold on, let me compose myself. It's just in those 2 places. I could sit here and chat about it all day, staring at a camera and in front of LP, but it's like strangers. If I'm face to face with a stranger and they ask me, I'm like, I'm a baby.
So in my addiction, I went to jail the first time, right? Jail's jail. You're just kind of a knucklehead on your own. You just sleep and maybe work out and play cards. I learned Spanish. When I got out, we didn't really have meetings. I didn't go to AA. I didn't go to NA. When I first started to quit alcohol, all over my many times of trying, I went to one AA meeting. I was like, what? This is crazy. I'm not, I got drunk that night and nothing. So when I finally detoxed and I checked myself into rehab, I didn't dabble with AA. I didn't dabble with NA. I was straight to an intense outpatient program. I was 5 days a week, 5:30 to 9 o'clock, 3.5 hours every night, group therapy with a counselor, with a staff. He was right on top of your head when you were talking. Let me move that. So you know what I mean?
Julie, cleaning over 335 days. Woo,
Whoa,
woo, woo.
Julie, good job.
You have really cool eyes.
Yeah. Good job, Julie.
Cherie's my soul sister. Hey, sister, soul sister.
We're going to look at a word today called dissonance. I'm going to do a little bit of education here, okay? It sounds like this when you play the speaker.
Dissonance. Dissonance.
Dissonance.
Let me take his comment off.
Dissonance.
Sorry, Mark.
What is dissonance? So this is harmony, right? This sounds good. That's dissonance, or that's harmony. This is this is harmony. Now dissonance is this.
Your face says it all.
Harmony. Dissonance. Harmony.
Oh.
Dissonance. So dissonance is the lack of harmony among musical notes. That's the exact definition of it. It's a tension or a clash resulting from a combination of 2 disharmonious, unsuitable elements. Dissonance. What's up, buddy? So the term cognitive dissonance is used to describe the mental conflict that results from holding 2 conflicting beliefs. People tend to seek consistency in their attitudes and their perceptions. So this conflict causes us feelings of unease or discomfort. People attempt to relieve this tension in different ways. Okay, so now there's a conflict of beliefs. There's this dichotomy, this, what do you want to call it? 2 conflicting things in our mind. And we need to relieve it because it's caused stress and anxiety in us. It releases its tension in us when this happens. And we attempt to relieve it by either rejecting, explaining it away, or avoiding new information. Say you have this conflict with a person. Your best way to handle it if you are wrong in the situation is just to cut them out of everything. I'm going to cut them out of this. I'm going to cut them out of that. And I don't ever have to see that name. I don't have to see that face or think about it again. And I won't ever have to feel that discomfort in myself, this dissonance in my mind, this conflict of two things going on in my brain. And you may be asking, what does this have to do with admitting you're wrong? This has everything to do with admitting you're wrong. Psychologist Leon Festinger first proposed a theory of cognitive dissonance centered on how people try to reach internal consistency. He suggested that people have an inner need to ensure that their beliefs and their behaviors are consistent. Inconsistent or conflicting beliefs lead to disharmony, which people strive to avoid, right? So, despite your best intentions, your best efforts, it's inevitable, and you all know this. At some point in your life, you're going to be wrong. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to be wrong, straight wrong. Mistakes can be hard to digest. So sometimes we double down rather than face them. You know you told a lie. You know they know you're lying. But you can't digest that and just admit you're wrong. So you double down on that lie. You swallow a little harder, you poke your chest out a little higher, and you just hang on to that lie or whatever it is that you're wrong about. And you just kind of have this conflict inside. You know you're wrong, but you double down on it.
Have a good night, Lish.
Lish is out of here?
Enjoy your meeting.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, enjoy your meeting. Tell them we all said hello. I gotta look.
It's okay to be a glow stick. Sometimes we have to break before we shine.
Ooh, I like that, Linky. Sometimes you got to break before you shine. So our confirmation bias kicks in, causing us to seek out evidence to prove what we already believe. We're seeking out evidence to prove what we already believe. If we're wrong, at some point we thought we were right. And when we're confronted with facts that we are wrong, we are going to try to confirm this, right? By whatever we already believe. So say the car you cut off has a small dent in its bumper, which obviously means that it's the other driver's fault, right? Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. This is the stress we experience when we hold two contradictory thoughts, beliefs, opinions, or attitudes. For example, you might believe you are the kind and fair person. So when you rudely cut somebody off, you experience dissonance. You say, I'm a nice person, but then you've cut somebody off. And now that goes with what you believe about yourself being kind. And that little bit of stress, that feeling inside you is dissonance. To cope with it, to cope with that stress, that little bit of anxiety caused by this, you deny your mistake and insist that the other driver should have seen you, or you had the right of way, even if you didn't. You try to explain it away. You justify it somehow, right? Cognitive dissonance is what we feel when the self-concept, I'm smart, I'm kind, I'm convinced this belief is true, is threatened by evidence that we did something that wasn't smart, that we did something that hurt another person, that the belief isn't true. To reduce dissonance, we have to modify self-concept or accept the evidence. Guess which route people prefer to take? Modify your self-concept or accept the evidence that you're wrong. Most of the time, you're going to modify. You're going to modify your self-concept. You're going to look at yourself in a different light, and you're going to project. Remember when we learned about projecting your problems somewhere else? I'm not wrong. There, that's why I'm wrong. That's why that happened, not me. I'm not going to accept that evidence, even though it's clear as a bell. Right? When we apologize for being wrong, we have to accept this dissonance, and that is unpleasant. On the other hand, research has shown that it can feel good to stick to our guns. So that's kind of another thing we were talking about with this omniscience. Remember a couple streams ago when we were talking about being powerful, how we are not powerless. Are you kidding me? I'm in control. So when you're wrong and you stick to your guns, this researcher from the European Journal says it feels good to stick to our guns. And he found that people who refused to apologize after a mistake had more self-esteem and felt more in control and more powerful than those who did not refuse. But that's not healthy. But why? Why would they feel more powerful? Why would they have more self-esteem? And why would they feel more in control? Anybody answer that?
I think it's a simple nature of the human.
Word. Right on the target.
I got no vote.
All right, let's hear it, Linky.
A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. Paulo Coelho.
A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. Not a mistake no more.
Yeah.
That's right, bud. So this feeling powerful. I didn't apologize. I didn't say I was sorry. I'm in control. It might be a short-term benefit, but there are long-term consequences. Refusing to apologize could potentially jeopardize the trust on which a relationship is based. And Mr. Okimoto said, adding that it can extend conflict and encourage outrage or retaliation. So by not apologizing, sticking to your gun, remaining the powerful one in the position, in the situation, you're going to possibly cause outrage in somebody else because the other person is going to be kind of feeling the same way, but they're going to be on the right side knowing that they're right, and you're being so blunt, knuckle-headed, strong, and you're trying to justify why you are right when you are wrong. So when you refuse to admit your mistakes, you are also less open to constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is something we need to be open to. When you think you're the bee's knees at whatever it is you do, because you've had a little bit of success and you get a little bit of constructive criticism, and you're obviously a person who can't even admit when they're wrong. And constructive criticism is a good thing. It can help hone your skills. It can rectify bad habits and prove yourself overall. So if nothing changes, right, nothing changes. We got to change everything. So when we are looking for sponsors and AA and groups like this, we're looking for people to give us constructive criticism. And I ask you guys, give me constructive criticism on how to do this better, how I could be a better YouTube and a better Facebook provider, anything I could do to do Zoom meetings better, you know, anything. Give me constructive criticism, and I'm open to it. And the part of the problem is that we cling to the old ways of doing things. Even when new ways are better and healthier or smarter, we cling to self-defeating beliefs long past their shelf life. And we make our partners, coworkers, parents, and kids really, really mad at us. Dissonance.
And a couple comments real quick. We got a couple of people saying hi. We got new dudes. Welcome. And hi, Jacqueline.
What's up, man? It was my fault. Yeah, boy.
Ricardo. Hi, guys. I'm Brazilian. I see you always. Your work is extremely important. Congratulations and success. I don't speak English fluently, but I always see you. One day we will speak. I believe. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
A big, huge hug from my friends.
Hey, Ricardo, if you can understand me, it seems like you're understanding a little bit. Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know how you understand it. But one of my buddies, he's from Oaxaca in Mexico, and he'll chat me. And I know Spanish enough. And I'll get on my Google Translator, and I'll type in what I want to say, and then I'll copy and paste the translation to Spanish. And I started texting him like that. He came over. He's like, dude, you speak Spanish better than me. It was hilarious. Maybe that's what you did there. But if you did, you do it. It works.
Oh, she said, me too. Like, you are the cherry on top. Teeter said you could just send us gifts.
Yeah, there you go.
He said, Link, you are going too way ahead of the curve, learning spiritual principles this young.
Right?
Smart boy. Bye, Lee. All right, you may continue.
All right, chapter 13, admitting errors. Here we are.
From
We are in our
addictive
book,
thinking.
Addictive Thinking,
Where's Bob?
Understanding. So he's probably working. It's summertime.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got
Bob's
plans to take care of.
Busy man.
Many chemically dependent people have great difficulty admitting they are wrong. Imagine that. They may disagree with this statement, asserting that they would not have the slightest difficulty admitting they were wrong. I would not have the slightest difficulty admitting I was wrong, if I was ever wrong. Right?
Right.
Because we're never wrong, are we? One of the features of an addictive thinking is the addict's perception of always being right. Many of the other traits prevalent in addictive thinking, denial, projection, remember we just talked about that, rationalization, omnipotence, I'm powerful, are brought into play to bolster the insistence that the person has always been right. All that addictive thinking we've been learning through chapter 1 through 12 about denial, about projection, rationalizations, being the most powerful in the room. I forgot to read a part of this. I wanted to make a. And this is why we kind of feel that power. So it says, in a way, apologies give power to the recipients. We want to be in control, right? We are in denial that we're wrong. We project that they're the problem, that they think we're wrong when we are actually right. And I'm going to rationalize it away. And omnipotence, I have the power. You know, your Castle of Grayskull and the Hulk, or whatever his name was.
He-Man.
He says, for example, apologizing to my wife. If I apologize to my wife, I admit I'm wrong. Uh-oh, guess what I just did? I just made myself powerless, and I gave her the power. And now I have two things to worry about. I either gave her the power to alleviate my shame and guilt. She can say, I forgive you. Oh, there goes my shame and guilt for being wrong. Or she has the power to hold a grudge. So I want to remain in control. I ain't giving her no power over me to make me feel one way or the other. Okimoto says that his research has found that people experience a short-term increase in their feelings of personal power or control after refusing to apologize. So somebody that refuses to apologize gets built up a little bit. Oh, they're powerful. Ooh, yeah, look at me. I'm not going to apologize and admit that. I'm in control. I'll delete you from everything.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. It's insanity. Being human means making errors. It's not a big deal. The way addicts explain and defend their behavior may sound perfectly logical. I love the little words they use. Each explanation may at first seem reasonable. It may sound or seem reasonable. It may sound reasonable at first. It may sound perfectly logical. It seems reasonable. But taking the entire litany of incidents and explanations into account, however, we must ask, if the addict were indeed error-free, how did things end up in such a horrible mess?
Mm-hmm.
After we re-examine the addict's account, the addictive thinking becomes evident. Addicts' logical sounding explanations are often only ingenious rationalizations and projections. The recovering person must learn not only that is it all right to be human, but also that it is the greatest achievement of all to be a fine human being. But one must first be human, which means that one must err at some time or another. To be human is error. One of the most effective ways to accept the statement, making a mistake is not the end of the world, is seeing other people, especially those an addict hold in high regard, somebody that you hold up in your life in high regard, somebody you look up to, seeing them make a mistake. Anyone can serve as a model for this. And then he says an example comes from his own life. We got any? Good.
Oh, she loves you.
And I put the child over.
Oh, thank you, Michael and Sheree. I practice in front of the mirror.
Felice would never.
Just for you guys. Kyle says, but you would have to be wrong first, right?
Right?
I was speaking of that in that book. I always tell you guys about The Excellent Wife. she talks about constructive criticism and arguing, and she's like, even if you're in a disagreement with your spouse, say your husband is 60% right or wrong and you're 40% wrong, it's still my responsibility to take 100% responsibility for my 40%.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, or however, whatever percentage it is, because not everybody's 100% all the time, but you still have to take 100% responsibility for what you did.
Brandon, what's going on, brother?
Thank you, my computer. Hey, Brandon.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Who's my Facebook user? Uh-oh, my battery's low again. Oh, 1%. I'm gonna die.
Felice has no idea about batteries in
I
life.
charged it for like 2 hours today.
If you guys knew how many batteries I keep charged that nobody even realizes, you would be blown away.
Oh, Facebook.
I'm a battery charging
user.
fool.
I don't know who this is.
What about the old timer that have the pride and ego to the newcomer putting them down? Ew, that's not good. Like all newcomers come and sit down and shut as they're told. Oh, you mean an old schooler?
Oh my gosh.
You just sit down and listen to it.
I'm not even on the right stream. Look at your shirt. But I picked
Felice has pulled one
the
that
same
we make
shirt
fun
on
of people
yesterday.
You just pulled, remember Dawn?
Yes.
We've had some people that are not too hip to
Let me
technology.
fix this.
They go back and start commenting on our old shows as if they're live. It's kind of funny. Like some of the comments I get.
I just was doing that. So anybody on Facebook said that got 0 links. That's why.
So that old timer, he's got some things to deal with. I mean, I know, and sometimes maybe the newcomer needs to just sit down and be quiet. Hey, bud, all the stuff you're saying is you don't even know what you're talking about. Sit here and listen to these old guys for. I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know exactly the person you have in mind, so I couldn't really comment on it. And Brandon said, "What up, bro?
You shout.
How you
so
doing,
loud
Brandon?
that
Let me
I
know how
can't
you're
hear
doing.
what you're
How's your
saying.
sobriety and all that
It's
stuff?"
these mics, man. I'll
What?
put it a little further from my face. It says you shout so loud I can hear what you're saying.
Who, me?
Wow, one of us. Maybe I was laughing too loud. But these mics are uber sensitive now.
Me? Hey, Jump Little Doggy, help me with that audio. If it is, I'll turn it down. I'm going to turn us both down. I'm going to turn us both down halfway. You may need to turn up your phones now.
Well, I think if we just put them all set
How's that?
right into it, might be all right.
Well, I still don't understand the audio yet. He could be right. I'm sure he's right.
Oh, Facebook user Sober James.
Sober James. Sober James.
Oh, hello, sober. That is very true. Why do I not see you?
Felice is on the wrong channel still.
I might. No, look, you got a Gravedigger shirt on.
Hit the live button up in the corner.
Do nothing.
There's a
It's in
live
the-
button you can
it's in
hit.
the comments
Well, you're on
there.
your own. You are on your own.
There's no live button.
So, all right, Jeremy
Anyways,
says, being a man is
tell us who
hard
you
to
are.
admit you are wrong, but I have come to find that my wife is so much more loving, understanding, and helpful when I'm just honest. And I end up feeling 1,000% better. Yeah. Once we learn how to drop our ego, drop our pride, and we can admit when we're wrong, we say we're sorry, it does feel better because it clears the air. And if you have a loving wife like I do and like you do, who would obviously forgive and not hold that grudge and take that power, and then that's their character defects. We do what we have to do, what is right, and then their character defects, that's on them at that point. But no, I agree with you, Jeremy. Very good, very good.
I got another quote.
Oh, let's hear it, Linky.
Accept what is, let go what was, and have faith in what will be.
I like it.
Facebook changed up their format, and it's hard for me to figure it out. So I apologize.
Sounds fine over here on the TV. Yep, Felice, you are in charge.
Oh,
of
that
keeping
was
your
a
side of the
saying,
street.
not about you. Oh, yeah, it's all freaked out, little doggy.
What?
That's what you like at the bottom about your sound.
Oh, crap.
Now we're all jacked up.
All right, I just turned our sound down to half, so you got to help us out here. You guys got to be our studio producers with this sound thing here. Up or down, let me know. Okay, so here's an example out of Abram's life of what it looks like to look up to somebody and have that person admit they are wrong and how it can help us out. He said once he had a young psychiatric patient who was hospitalized for an extended time as he recovered. He was given passes to leave the hospital for several hours. One Friday, the patient told me he wanted to attend a class reunion the next day and meet with his classmates before they left for the four corners of the earth. He saw no reason to deny the request. Before I left him, the patient said, "Please remember to write that pass order on the chart, otherwise the nurses will not let me out." Promising to do so, I promptly went to the nurses' station and I wrote the order. Hey, let this guy out of here. And when I met the patient the following Monday, he greeted me tearful and angry outburst. "Why did you lie to me? Why did you tell me I could not go and let me go? Some of these classmates are going away and I will never see them again." I told the patient, "I had no idea what you're talking about because I wrote that. I wrote the order just like I promised." "Then the nurses lied to me," he cried, "and they said there were no such order on the chart." So he goes and examines the patient's charts, and much to his amazement, there was no order on there. What had happened to the order I remember writing? The mystery was solved when he subsequently discovered the order on another patient's chart. I had indeed written the order I had promised, but the nurses were correct in telling the patient that there was no order for the pass on his chart, as indeed there was not. It was on somebody else's chart. He made a mistake. So he took both the charts into the patient's room. He showed him what had happened, and he apologized for the mistake. And he had not delivered. Oh, and he apologized for depriving him of seeing his classmates. I told him that there was nothing I could do to right this error. All I can do is apologize. "I'm sorry, man. I messed up. You missed out on seeing your classmates. I wrote it wrong. I cannot fix this and make it better. All I can do is say I'm sorry." A doctor and a patient, okay? And we're looking at somebody we look up to. And he says something strange happened. After this incident, there was a significant and progressive improvement in the patient's condition. It later turned out that one of the patient's major hangups was perfectionism. Making a mistake was taboo. He was obsessed with perfectionism and terrified of making a mistake. But look here, his doctor made a mistake. And it was not just any kind of mistake. A pass order was written on the wrong chart. And this conceivably have resulted in a high-risk suicidal patient being able to leave the hospital. A doctor's mistake could be fatal, yet the doctor admitted it. Furthermore, the doctor continued to function as a doctor. The nurses still respected him, and his orders were still being followed, even though he had made a mistake. Ergo, mistakes do not demolish a person. Maybe he, the patient, didn't have to be internally on guard to avoid mistakes. See what I mean? Anybody can make mistakes. And so the fact that that patient saw the doctor made a mistake made it easier for him to admit when he does make mistakes. Pretty cool.
Amber, hello, Amber, says she thinks it sounds better halfway.
Sounds better halfway?
Your volume.
Oh, we'll leave it here then, Amber. Thank you.
He says good, good. Just taking it day by day.
How's your sobriety going, brother?
He's probably just eating.
All right, there you go.
I'm not even doing anything, Michael.
It's time for Cassie's quote. It's time for Cassie's quote. We totally missed it. You guys got me all discombobulated.
Hey, my recovering addict family. I'm here today with your motivational quote on Recovering Addict. Don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits. Anonymous. And as always, you guys know what to do. Let's bring it together and continue to spread that love.
Love it. Spreading it.
So it worked out. I was able to edit that, upload it without any glitches. That was cool. This guy, Abrams, says when he first became familiar with the 12-step program, he was delighted to discover that step 10, and when wrong, promptly admitted it. Like many other people, I used to defend my mistakes. My ego would not let me admit I was wrong. Got to watch that ego. It can get you in a lot of trouble, leave you lonely in the end. Some people will put up vigorous battle to prove they were right, and only when their arguments are rebutted will they grudgingly concede that they were wrong. This attitude can have disastrous consequences. It is a far simpler and highly effective method of conserving one's energies to simply admit they were wrong and to do it promptly without a futile attempts at defending a mistake. So to go to all the trouble, when you know you're wrong, just admit it, get it over with, boom, it's done. But if your ego holds you up and you're so right in a situation that you have to cut everything out, you are wasting your energy, your mental energy, your physical energy. Your stress is up. You have to now put up barriers around so this person or whatever don't ever interfere with you again, so that you can't admit it. You know, it's just it's a waste of energy. And that could be like, I could do that the rest of my life with my wife. Start avoiding certain conversations or certain buildings. Maybe we had a fight in a restaurant. I'm not going to go that way anymore because it's going to remind us of a fight that I need to apologize for. Even though I'm right, I'm going to avoid it because I know that tension is there. That's not good. That's what happens in that type of attitude and that type of behavior. You're going to cut and push people out the rest of your life until you have no real friends, because remember what we read in here, how it's going to create distrust and discontent with people around you because they know how you are and they know that they got to walk on eggshells because if anything happens. It's far simpler and highly effective method of conserving one's energy to simply admit that one was wrong and to do it promptly without futile attempts at defending a mistake. So what a relief it has been to be free of this burden. Thank you for step 10. 12 steps are a genius.
Genius. Oh, Brandon says, I'm alive. Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy, yeah.
Yeah, boy, yeah.
If y'all haven't seen it, meet Dave. Great movie. Dave Ming Chang.
Abram says, I'm not immune to mistakes, and when I admit my humanity, people invariably understand. And it is only when I insist that I was right that I provoke their anger. People are human. They understand humans make mistakes. You say you're sorry, it clears the air. But if you make a mistake and you know you're wrong and you just continue to admit you're right, you make the other person angry. As one surrenders the delusion of omnipotence, it's that I'm in control. I have the power. You are nothing without me, which is part of addictive thinking. One is then able to admit one's errors. So you have to surrender to the delusion of omnipotence. You are not in control. You are not all powerful. We are not the bee's knees. We are nothing but a speck on this earth for a blip. A blip of time. The Bible describes this as a mist, a vapor. We appear for a little while and we vanish. We're just like a flower in a field. It comes up and it fades away.
Still you.
But yet we are so arrogant and we are so egotistical. It's unbelievable.
Sure. This is Bryson. Welcome back, Bryson.
Bryson, sometimes you're right, but to help a person, you admit you are wrong to help them. Absolutely. You lead by example in that sense, right? That doctor led by example to his patient. Imagine if he would have tried to cover up. Oh, maybe the paper got lost, then the nurses would have kind of lost a little bit of respect for the doctor. The patient might have, he might have collapsed, he's already in there for mental issues. But the fact that the doctor owned up to it, I made a mistake. Look at, here it is. I wrote it on this paper when I should have wrote it on this one. And yes, it could have killed this guy. It was beneficial, leading by example.
Only God is all-knowing and all-powerful.
Only God's omniscient. Absolutely. He's the only one that's powerful. Nothing can thwart his power.
Cherie, I took one and half a Broncaid, and I chugged some Dayquil, and my nose is still stuffy, and my throat still tickles. I'm choosing to ignore it, except for when I go, and you guys see it. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom.
All right, let's look for. Anybody got any questions? Any thoughts? Any examples of what's going on?
In about 5 seconds, Big Hump Matters will have a comment. I will share. Wait for it.
What is it?
Olive. Every summer since I was 14. Wait, gosh, this thing takes forever. And then like 5 comments show up. Then I can't find it.
Jeremy's comment?
Nope, this one. Boom. It says, how do you share/add on without hearing the pain of others? It said no one has more tragedy than the next without being repetitive or complaining. It's a question.
How do you share or add without hearing the pain of others?
It said no one has more tragedy without being repetitive or complaining.
Man, I don't know, man. Your pain is your pain. And I think the hearer, I'm just not quite sure I get what you're texting there. If what I think what you're saying is, how do you speak on your pain if you're just repetitive or complaining? Because everybody's pain is just, everybody's gone through tragedy, and I'm no different than anybody else. But at the same time, your pain is your pain. It's like that saying, you got it, you're down and out, right? You ain't got no money, you can't pay the bills. And somebody comes up to you, well, there's kids in the third world country that are worse off than you. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with
it. Has nothing to do with the pain I'm right now experiencing. So your pain is your pain. I think talking about it, there's a difference between complaining and getting things off your chest. If you need to vent and say, oh man, look, this is what's on my mind. But if you're just complaining, you're just there's a huge difference between complaining and getting something off your chest. And if you get something off your chest, then you take people's advice, or maybe you just needed to get it off your chest and have people listen, then you're relieved. But if you're repetitive with the complaining, that could be complaining over and over and over.
Yeah, complaining is repetitive. If you notice, like complaining people, it's all day, every day.
Yeah. I always tell people at work,
attitude.
People at work just do it all the time, blah, blah. I say, look, if you ain't got a solution for that, all you're doing is bitching. So that's it. That's all you're doing. You are doing nothing productive. You're wasting air and energy, and I can't stand listening to you. Do you have a solution? Okay, that's great. Everything you said is true. All that stuff is wrong. What's the solution? Oh, you don't have a solution? Then we're done talking about it. Get over it.
Yeah, but if you're sharing to relate to somebody and show them that you've been through that same experience, that's not complaining. That's being relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know sometimes we say our stories over and over, like repetitive, but we don't know who's new or who's coming in, or just like an AA meeting, you don't know who's new and who needs to hear it. But people need to know that they can relate, because once you realize that somebody else out there has the same problems you do, you can talk about it. You don't feel like you're the only one. Just my experience with that anyways. Jeremy.
Not always. When the other person is just as hard-headed and you're trying to be the bigger person.
That's when apologizing's hard. That's when you just say, I'm sorry, and you walk away. Not worth arguing about at that point.
Yep. And you can tell the other person's, if the other person is hard-headed and you're having conflict, the person that's the hard-headed is the one that's attacking you, the one that's degrading what you either look like or how you do things, instead of there's a difference between constructive criticism and personal attacks. Personal attacks definitely show the person behind you, their motives and all that kind of stuff. So,
and that's usually done in anger or
anger,
with a bad attitude. But somebody who's giving you constructive criticism's usually going to do it in a kind, non-confrontational way.
Yep.
And that's how it should be given. When I tell my wife I was wrong, she reminds me for a couple of days I was wrong. That's not good. Sorry, Desmond.
They got Rolodexes, bro. They're like, yeah, you're right, I was wrong, but
Remember
June
that
13th, 1982 at 2:00.
DJ, typical woman. Hey,
Attaboy, DJ.
Mitri. She's on my team.
Uh-oh. Now you done it there, Des. And TJ.
That's funny. Oh, you're in Jersey. You got them Jersey girls.
Oh, yeah.
Holly's told us about them ones.
My Italian ladies. Woo-wee.
Hot-headed.
I always try to be positive at a meeting, but if I have to puke on a meeting, I will. I went to a meeting one time, and this is when I was first in recovery, and things were building up in me, and I'm trying to stay sober, but my mind and my emotions are just through the roof. And I remember them saying, hey, if you feel like that, when you're at a meeting, talk about it. And a couple meetings go by, and I don't say nothing. And finally, I'm sitting there stewing. I can't even listen to the people that are talking in this meeting. And so I decide, screw it, I'm talking about it. And I'm like, and I get everything off my chest, and I'm like, I only said that because I've never done this before, and I'm trying something new. So let's see if this works. And it worked. It's kind of weird. Follow the advice of the old timers, follow the advice of AA, the big book. It works. It's a program that works if you work it. Brandon, I'm doing good, brother.
Thanks,
I'm doing very good. Things are going good. Everywhere I go, we just continue to grow. Everything Felice and I are doing here, we're totally just giving. And I think that's the key to things. Just give, you guys. Just like Frank was saying yesterday, if you guys had a chance to watch Frank right here, his interview with me yesterday, go back and watch it if you haven't. The dude is inspirational. If you haven't seen his channel, go to his channel and check it out. Morals Over Money. He goes to the Faces of Kensington. The guy is fabulous. He was saying, just go out and tell somebody, just for no reason, go be nice to somebody. And he would take his skill, his trade, his haircutting trade, and go downtown and just cut hair for free, his time. And it was more rewarding than, getting $100 tip, he said. So it's about being happy, and giving is joyous. You see that people's eyes, and now he's got a team around him that, bake goods and give him stuff to give away. And that's what Felice and I are trying to do here with Recovering Addict here in Utah. We can all go and affect our community this way. And I think that we should all take Frank's advice from yesterday. So tomorrow, go do something to make somebody happy. Just out of the ordinary, out of the blue, go make somebody happy. He's got me with a lot of ideas now. And like I said, Brandon, we had a really good morning this morning. KSL, KSL, you're a Utah. KSL came down and interviewed Felice and I about, and Dell, my sponsor, was here. They interviewed all three of us and then checked out what we do here. We did a little mock show for them, and they're editing that right now. They're going to play it on the local news down in Salt Lake. And there's some big things coming. Like I said, YouTube and all this stuff is just a small percentage of the stuff that I have in mind. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got like this small vision, and I'm just going to keep pressing that way. And the only way to describe it is what we read in that book a month or so ago. It says that woodpecker goes up and starts pecking on this big old huge tree. Just impossible for this woodpecker to get through in 100 years, but he's pecking away, and all of a sudden lightning comes, boom, strikes it, and all the other woodpeckers come over. And how did you chop down that tree? He's like, I just showed up, and God did the rest. So that's what Felice and I are doing here, and we'd love for you to all be a part of it. Like I said, if you guys want to do a collaboration video, I'll do one with any one of you in there. Give me an idea. Let's work together, and let's make videos, or just give me ideas, and I'll produce them for us. And I'm down for any idea, anything to help people out, to help us as a community grow closer and stronger. Let's do this thing.
Jeremy says, easier said than done. When I apologize, it's heartfelt, and it hurts to not be accepted. It does. I could understand that completely, but you did your part. That's when you would get really drunk and I would apologize and you wouldn't accept it, I would finally just say, I did my part. I apologized. You can accept it or not, but that's all I can do. And that would be my advice for you, Jeremy. You just have to go like this. And if they accept it, they accept it. And if they don't, they don't. And that's not on you.
That's true. I'm going to play the devil's advocate on that one too, because our motives have a lot to play with it. And this is just because we're human. This is just our nature. But say I give somebody you hold the door open for somebody, right? And they don't say thank you. And you're just kind of like, son of a, I held the door open. You didn't say thank you. So where were my true motives at? You go to help somebody out and you don't get back what you think you deserve. Where were your true motives at? You know, it's not to actually help that person. It was to be thanked and acknowledged. And I'm not saying this is what you did. I'm just throwing this out there as the devil's advocate. But the times that I've apologized, expecting her response of a high five, bow down, whatever, or just an accepting of it, I was looking for the response, not to clear my side of the street, saying, hey, I am truly sorry. I became willing. Remember step 8 when we studied that in the big book? It's become willing to make amends to them all. And just by becoming willing to make amends, we free ourselves. And the act is another way. When we go to step 8 and 9, it's for us. It's not for them. And for their response towards us has nothing to do with it. If they respond forgivingly and accepting, great, we made amends. But if they slam the door and kick us out of their office, great, we made amends. You know what I mean? Even though getting the door slammed on you, that we're humans. We have emotions and feelings, and that sucks.
It does hurt.
But apologies on that amends side of things are for us. It's to clear us, because the ultimate goal behind apology is to free ourselves of guilt and shame. You got step 4 and 5, and you're freeing yourself from resentments, right? And all the resentments you hold over people. 8 and 9. Now you're freeing yourself from guilt, fear, and shame of what you've done to other people. And just by completing step 8 and becoming willing is very freeing. And then when you actually go and make them, you're that much more free to live, to be free in your recovery. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not attacking you, Jeremy, at all.
If it's really heartfelt, like you said, you won't expect anything in return. Heartfelt apologies, you're getting it off your chest and clearing your heart.
Yes, good job, Jump. Volunteering it does make you feel good. There's no doubt about that. Step 9. It might hurt your ego, but your heart and soul is clear. And if you can't control how they react to
Exactly.
It's on them. But I like to always check my motives. I hold the door open for somebody, and they walk by and don't acknowledge the fact that I just held the door open. I'm like, you sucker, what the? And that's bad. That's bad on me. You know what I mean? Cop spot for a while. I'm not sure what that means. What is today? Thursday? And you remember how every time we read from the Just for Today, it always lines up right with what we're freaking talking about? Has anybody read the Just for Today yet? I'm going to read it right now. It's called Indirect Amends.
Let's say hi to Megan real quick. Hey, guys, it's been a minute since I joined y'all stream. Happy to be here, brother.
Yay!
Megan.
What's up, Meg? Good to see you.
Coffee time, bedtime.
He works at night.
Oh, yeah.
So indirect amends may be necessary where direct ones would be unsafe or endangering other people. Basic text, page 41. When we allowed nothing to stand in the way of that next high. Whew, ain't that the truth? As a result, many of us didn't always know precisely whom we had injured, either financially or emotionally. When it came time to make amends through the 9th step, we found that there was so many people we had victimized that we might never remember them all. That's true. With the help of our sponsor and other recovering members of NA, we found a solution to this obstacle. We vowed to complete these nameless amends by making restitution to our communities. We focused our service efforts on helping the still suffering addict. In this manner, we found a way to give back to society. Today, with the love and guidance of members in NA, we are giving back to the world around us rather than taking. Amen. We are making our communities better places to live by carrying the message of recovery to those we encounter in our daily lives. Just for today, I will make indirect amends by reaching out to an addict who may need help. I will strive in some small way to make my community a better place in which to live. Amen.
Let's shout out Melissa Lindsay. I'm new here, but really feel connected to y'all.
Awesome.
Glad you're here today.
Tell us about yourself there, Melissa. You may have already done that, and my addict mind don't remember.
And in the meantime, Sheree has a question. What is Alchemic Poll? Are we doing spiritual Zoom to Sunday at 6 p.m.?
Yes.
There you go. Yes.
And that's 6 p.m. Utah time.
Yes.
You're welcome,
2
Melissa.
weeks from now, Australia time. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, cute babies. The one in the blue is ours. The other ones are buddies.
Oh, yeah. The girls are here.
TJ says, welcome. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome, Melissa.
Sheree says, hi, Millie and Fred.
Yeah, so we're going to set up a Zoom meeting, a spiritual Zoom meeting on Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this meeting is going to be just that. So if you guys have been to my Saturday meeting, I like to stay constructed. I like to stay on topic, if you will, even though there's really not a topic. But we go around on Saturdays at 3 o'clock if you want to be a part of this Zoom meeting. 3 o'clock Saturdays, Mountain Standard. I go to each square. I got everybody up on my computer, and I just go to each square. What's on your mind? What's on your heart? Where's your head at in recovery today? Anything you need to talk about, let's talk about it. And we go through every square. Everybody gets to talk. You don't have to talk. You don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. But I click on it and give you an opportunity to let us know what your emotion is, where your head and heart at in recovery, and then after we've gone through everybody, then we can crosstalk. Say there's somebody that was really hurting and suffering in there that day, and over in this corner, another person has advice for this person. Crosstalk's fine. It's not a legit AA or NA meeting. It's a recovery meeting where we talk about recovery, and we are there to help each other out. Now, Sunday at 6, I'm setting up a Zoom meeting, and it's a spiritual one. We get on this channel. We talk about addictive thinking. We go through sober living. We went through the 12 steps, right? But there's a lack in the spiritual education on this. So we'll get together. We'll talk about everybody's higher power and what does it look like to actually be spiritually fit if this is a spiritual program, if you're running a spiritual program. We'll talk about everybody's gods. We'll talk about it, whatever you call it, your higher power of your understanding, how we can strengthen ourselves in understanding this more in depth and putting it into practice. So it'll be another type of a study. We'll talk about the God I believe in, and I'll bring literature. You all bring literature, and yes, we'll definitely set something up. You're trying to talk.
Melissa said, thank you. I'm recovering addict 15 months.
Yeah, Melissa.
Awesome. Megan says you're killing it. Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus, what's up, brother?
We're glad you're here. Naomi Johnson. My name is Candace. Okay. And
Candace. Yeah.
Yeah, Candace. And a newbie to the Sawyer house in Mesa, Arizona. I'm asking for supportive prayers for my children back home on the Navajo res, dealing with a situation I have no control over being here. Our prayers go to you.
Definitely. And Candace, that book, I just checked the tracking on it. It said it's not going to be there till the 26th. So I tried to do the speedy one, but it didn't.
Didn't do it.
So be looking for that.
Weird times right now.
But now we got the Sawyer house's address, and we're going to probably put something together for y'all.
Sweet. Teeter will be awake if anybody wants to chat for a while on Facebook.
Sweet.
Jeremy, I have had so many fulfilling experiences the last few years, just stopping 3 days a week and feeding the homeless. I am truly blessed to be able to do that. I hold the door for everyone. That doesn't upset me when there is no response. My apologies have gone to family members, which is why it hurt that bad.
Yeah?
All good for the novel, man. Let us know how you feel.
No, that's good, Jeremy. That's a good
Glad
point.
you shared.
And the family, yeah, you want to be the guilt. And my advice, I guess, would be there what we studied yesterday or day before yesterday, the guilt and shame. Guilt leads us to action to improve our behavior. Shame puts us in a place where it could lead to relapse or suicide. So when you go to apologize to family and they don't accept it, and you want to be, and you feel so horrible for the stuff that had happened, and man, I feel you. Family is not easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Just make sure it's not shame, but guilt. Because you are a better person. You are a good person. I mean, look at you feeding homeless and holding doors open for everybody. There's no reason to think you are a nothing piece of nothing.
Okay, anyone willing to share a Zoom tutorial?
Asking for a
Asking
friend.
for a friend.
My Zoom meetings, Big Hump, I post on our private Facebook group and I post it in the Discord. I post it on the page, the private group, and the Discord. And if you need, I could even email it to you. But I always leave mine open. I don't put a password or nothing. All you got to do is click the link if you have Zoom downloaded. So download the app Zoom, or on your computer, download it. And all you have to do is click the link. It's going to open up. It's going to give you some options on whether to start with the audio and video, or you can just come in where we can't see or hear you. The only thing I do is I set everybody to mute when they first come in. And I'm not worried about stragglers or trolls or anything getting in here, because they're just as easy to boot as deleting a post off of Facebook. You just, okay, that guy don't need to be here. Delete. So I don't worry about that. I throw it out there. If you need a meeting, click the link and jump on in.
Jump Old Doggy will be absolutely no help to you. So you know.
Telling you for a friend.
Amber would like to write down that time on Saturday again, if you want to give that up.
Who's the Facebook user?
You gotta tell her the time.
Oh, what's the time on Saturday? Sorry, I was looking for a pen. Amber Hatfield. Saturday, I don't know where you're at, but we are in Utah. And so when I speak Utah time, and that's Mountain Central Time. It is 3:00 p.m. on Saturday, and then Sunday at 6:00 p.m.
There you go. This is, oh shoot, this is it.
Epi.
Got his mail today, got his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Need to wash the shirt, then I'll show you a picture. Sweet.
Yeah, post it and throw that up there in the Facebook group.
You're welcome for the extras. You're nice
F
bookmark.
shame. I agree, Meg. Shame can lead to disastrous consequences. Guilt, that's a good thing. Shame, bad thing. That's the way I was raised. Thank you. No problem, Jeremy.
What's Sawyer House?
Sawyer House is an inpatient program down in Flagstaff, Arizona. Them as a group. We have actually, it shows we only have a few people on here. Let me see, what do we got on here right now? We got 18 people on YouTube and 7 on Facebook and 2 in the other place. But there's actually 3 or 4 inpatient programs that watch this channel as a group. One is the Sawyer House, and what's the name of the other one in Flagstaff? Anchored Hearts. We got one in Mississippi where Petey came from, and we have one in Louisville, Kentucky that watches too as a group.
Hey Don, I'm not sure we missed. Let me know.
Uh-oh, that's the first one I seen.
Here's Megan's story. I am 2 weeks into sober living and keep getting interviews, but I've been chickening out and overwhelmed with anxiety and depression. I don't show up. Do y'all have any advice or encouragement? Tomorrow is a new day, so I'm not too down on myself. NA and the fellowship has given me hope in the tomorrow, but I'd appreciate some advice on which I don't feel capable or worthy to make an honest living and provide for myself.
So you're talking about job interviews?
Yeah, sounds like job interviews.
Oh man, let me tell you about job interviews, Meg.
Go ahead, tell her about job. I thought she was still typing.
You can take it off. Oh man, job interviews. Do you have a job when you go to the job? No. If you don't get the job, oh well. Go in there, be yourself, because you don't want to fake who you are. Because if you fake who you are and they hire you, then you have to keep up that facade. Be yourself. If they don't like you, they don't hire you, you're no worse off. If anything, you got more experience, you stepped out of your comfort zone and you talked to somebody. And now why I say it like that is because where I work, when I interview, I put my application in, I get an email, you're scheduled to interview at this time, at this place. I say accept. I go to that place, I walk in, I have to be there at 6:00 for my questions, 6:15 is my interview, 6:30 my interview's over. And it is structured just like that. I walk in, they hand me a piece of paper with 3 questions on it. They give me 15 minutes to review these questions, think about them, chew on them, write notes, go through my notes, go through my resume, whatever I need to do. And then they walk me into a panel of 3 people. 1, 2, 3. And I'm sitting on the opposite side of the table just looking at them. I walk in the room, they stand up, Hello, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Do you know why you're here? What you're interviewing for? Yes, I do. Okay, sit down. You have 15 minutes to answer those 3 questions. Are you ready? And I go, I'm ready. And they go, and go. And so you interview for 15 minutes. I have to answer 3 of these questions, and it's all time based on this 15 minutes. I have to answer 3 questions, and I have to give 3 examples for each questions to score points. So there's all this crap that goes into it. So you basically are given a speech for 15 minutes on what you know about it in the STAR format. So if you want some advice on how to interview, talk about your experiences in the situation, task, action, result. What was the situation? What was the task that you put on yourself to help this situation out? What actions did you take to help resolve the situation? And then what was the result? I saved this much money, this much time by doing whatever. That's if you want to learn how to interview with showing your abilities. But if you're nervous and scared to go in there, you're no better off. You're no worse off if you don't get the job. But just go in there, be yourself. Tell them the truth about yourself, and don't go there and admit, hey, I'm an addict, and I might relapse in a week, but I want a job. Now be yourself. You know what I mean?
And yeah, like Melissa said, Megan, you are worthy and deserving of a job.
Yeah, absolutely you are. You're a fabulous person. And the fact that you're on here even just commenting on a live chat and all these people you don't know and saying that stuff, that shows that you have the ability to step out of this comfort zone.
Yeah.
Meg, you're awesome. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you did in the past. It's your future.
Yeah. Like
Your future's in your hands.
I always think, Meg, what I've been thinking that's been driving me a lot since I heard it on the radio. It's a funny place. I heard it on a talk radio show. But it was talking about right now, you're just barely into recovery right now. If you died today and you had to have your eulogy or whatever it's called, your obituary written about you, what would it say? Like mine, if I would have died in my addiction before I checked into a hospital, it would have said, ruining his relationships at work, ruining his family, neglectful father. He could drink a fifth a night and gallons on the week, And now we have a blessing. We didn't die. We may have been to jails and institutions, but we're all alive. We get the next half of our life to rewrite our obituary so that when we do finally pass, because 10 out of 10 people do, we are going to be able to live and have our obituary written to something that we can be proud of, something who we could be proud to be. And that's kind of been a lot of motivator for me. Oh, good job.
Awesome.
Look at her. She's very pretty, too.
Yeah, you are very pretty. Amen. Y'all gonna make me. You got this, girl. Loving the extended version. We are a little extended tonight, aren't we?
I'm excited, man. I don't have to work tomorrow, and the conversation's good. I love it. Jeremy Shaw, yeah, it'd have been nice if you'd been hated for yeah. Yes. I understand. That's what I did well. Doorbell.
Stop.
Shucks.
Shucks.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? I'm on fire tonight. I feel like talking. Oh, there's daughter. She got new earrings.
The neighbor girl did it. She actually did a really good job. I told her that should be her first job. Yeah. She did a good job.
You got any quotes or jokes?
Domino's? Pizza sounds good. I don't eat pizza anymore. Oh, yeah. 15 pounds down. 15 pounds down.
That's good.
Are we done talking?
No, I was thinking about going more into this article about dissidents. You remember when we started the show, we were talking about dissidents and
Yes,
some.
Dad, I got a joke.
Oh, Linky's got a joke.
I didn't go blow my nose.
Where do they make average things?
Where?
The Satisfactory.
The Satisfactory. It's a drag. Just a drag, good old trusty drag. And then this is the smock. Smock with
Whatever.
I just bought this one new today. I broke it twice in a row. I was working on my truck and it fell off my bumper. So I just bought that one.
To buy some spare ones.
When he
too?
deletes, I ask him, does he need help? She said, congratulations on your 15 pounds.
That's funny. Who said congrats? Meg. What? Hello, Meg.
A funny joke. Meg said congratulations.
Show mom.
Hello,
The black
Meg.
makes me look slimming.
Show mom the
Okay.
joke.
I have a
Oh, cool. I got the smock too. Just bought it today.
A snowman and a snowwoman. Snowballs. Funny.
He said sorry. You're forgiven. Apology accepted.
We accept your apology, Jeremy.
Whoa, you okay?
Yep.
Really about
Jeez.
went down the stairs.
So the first step into recognizing cognitive dissonance in action,
What's up, sober dad?
your mind will go to great lengths to preserve your sense of identity. So it helps to be aware of what dissonance feels like. Typically, it manifests as confusion, stress,
Thank you.
embarrassment, or
It's
guilt.
not you.
Those feelings do not necessarily mean you are in the wrong, but you can at least use them as reminders to explore the situation from an impartial perspective and objective question. So when we get in those positions where we're understanding that dissonance, remember that the two notes that don't match and all of a sudden in our mind, remember when we learned when we cut ourselves, our body's pain and reaction tells us, uh-oh, something's wrong, fix it. Our emotions are the same way. If we have a bad emotion and pain, we need to fix it right away. And when we have these conflicting emotions and say you feel manifestations of confusion, stress, embarrassment, or guilt, those feelings don't necessarily mean you're in the wrong, but you can at least use them as reminders to explore. Now, let me think about the situation. Why do I feel that way? Let's start logically placing things. And then you can figure out whether you're at fault. So similarly, learn to recognize your usual justifications and rationalizations. What do you use? What's your go-to justifiers and what's your go-to rationalizations? Think of a time you were wrong and you knew it, but tried to justify it instead. Remember how it felt to rationalize your behavior and pinpoint that feeling as cognitive dissonance the next time it happens. So next time that you get that feeling, you go, "Oh, this is dissonance. This is a chord that doesn't sound right when I pluck my strings. Let me fix this. Let me get back into harmony."
I had to do that with Brandy.
Hey, John.
That was bugging me.
Hey, that's dissonance.
It's fine. Pretty.
Thanks, Meg.
Chad, your boundaries are going back up since you became sober. Says forgot to confess, had to sneak out right before the group hug. Being sober is maybe not like being touched. Also, you know,
Yeah,
Rona.
Rona's a great excuse.
I feel like I have the Rona right now. My throat will quit.
Chad, oh man. I don't know. If you don't like to be touched, you don't like to be touched. You don't have to touch.
Yeah.
But you don't have to leave. I mean, you could just say, "Hey, don't touch me." Be real. And just be like, "Hey, I don't like to be touched. I love y'all, and I love this hug, and I love this little emotions going on here, but I ain't touching you."
But you liked to be touched when you were not sober?
Coronavirus. Oh, serious question from Big Hump. Do you know doppelganger? Yeah. And how do you downplay it? Who's my doppelganger? Who's Felice's
Do
doppelganger?
you know your doppelganger, and how do you downplay it?
I
don't
have a doppelganger at work,
And you have
understand
doppelganger that lives up the
question.
street.
but I don't know the doppelganger you may be referring to.
No.
What's going on, John? Why don't you feel good today? You
I don't
sick
know my
or are you
doppelganger.
emotionally? Good, Meg. And we're here every night at 8 o'clock. Every night at 8 o'clock, we got 3 Zoom meetings during the week. One Aubrey leads on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. Utah time. It's Mountain Standard, and it's a big book study. So if you come to Big Obs, you know that you're going to get a study on the big book and some discussion about it at the half-hour mark. My Saturday one, you're going to get recovery. You're going to get where's your head, where's your heart, where's your mind at 3:00 p.m. Saturday. And Sunday, you're going to get a spiritual one. We're going to talk about gods of our understanding. We're going to talk about Buddha if we talk about Buddha. We'll talk about evolution. We'll talk about the God of the Bible. We'll talk about Indians. We'll talk what's that religion? Indonesian religion.
Buddhism?
I already said Buddha. We're going to talk about everything.
Like, I can't.
I think Mom has the Rona.
I think I got the Rona. Chad, you touched me, I got the Rona.
Ah, snap. I should have done that.
Like a twin. Peter, you know what doppelgangers are? LT's had a doppelganger on here. What was his name?
Oh, yeah. I do have a doppelganger on here. He pops in every once in a while.
Millie's my doppelganger.
Struggle Jennings. Who's that?
I'm gonna Google Struggle Jennings.
I
Is it like a person?
don't even know what's going on anymore. Al-Anon. What's that? Look up Al-Anon, Link. I struggled today.
That's your doppelganger? Or is
Yeah, it kind of does look like me.
Yeah.
Or is that her? It's definitely not your doppelganger.
Wait,
Not mine?
No, her.
Oh.
Megan.
So she said, I struggled today. Really wanted to drink and found myself saying, maybe I can just have a few. And ooh, whoa, Amber. Maybe I don't really have a problem. Whoa, Amber. That's what got me another white tag. I know this was my addict brain and still craving sucked. Happy I made it to you. Good job. Good job for you. Don't do it. You don't have. You're darn right. It was your addict brain. We're powerless over that stuff. We have an allergy. Our bodies aren't. You know, if you drink more than you ever intended, all that kind of stuff. You know.
Was I supposed to show?
What?
Was I supposed to
I'm missing.
Alteen. A-L-T-E-N. Re-recognizing whom you are is a job. You have to work
That's like
on it.
Al-Anon for teens.
You are rebuilding the blocks of which people will see you. It's the face you will wear for a time of your life you are in. So remember, what you put out to the world is what all people see. So making the best person you can be is the option you will find most satisfying. Amen. You will learn to love yourself, not just like Hindu. Amen. I like that.
Want me to read it, the definition?
They want me to take your temperature.
Yeah, Alteen is Al-Anon for teens.
It's
ahead,
Yes, stay clean. You stay clean, I stay clean. That's the deal here. You guys keep me accountable, Meg. Just knowing that you're getting strength, knowing that you're staying sober, you're getting value out of this, gives me the strength to keep going. And I love it. Look at Chad once here, though. Take your temperature.
I'm not hot. I think it's just a tickle.
Good, John. Good. Don't give up. I'm proud of you, brother. Specific apologies. Don't be vague about it. I used to say sorry and not be specific. Just shut them up. Not anymore.
Sorry, you're a jerk. Is that a good apology?
Oh, man. That's not good, Teeter.
Ooh, John and his wife. You've got it.
He's an artist.
Hey, John. Serious question. Did your corona start with a tickle in your throat?
Oh, it's his grandson? Wow.
He's
buff.
that guy?
He's a buff dude.
He's not that buff in this picture.
Amen. Shauna, good job.
Jesse?
Does he sing? Oh, he's an artist.
Where are you from, Jeremy? Maybe we do know each other. 12-step for kids. You want to do the 12-step for kids?
Yeah, why not?
That would be cool. We should do that.
Yeah.
I
Amos.
should not do that.
Oh, David, you and me both.
David, you're out of here, bud.
Why? What'd he do?
You'll see.
Let me kick him.
Go for it.
I want to see what he said first.
It's right there.
Oh, yeah. Bye, buddy. That sucks.
Not here.
See you.
What did you say?
What do you say?
I have no idea what. I'm missing a Facebook somewhere. I know it.
David. Bye-bye. You can read it.
Who said it first?
I think it's Epi.
Epi, Amber, make sure when you find the thought of maybe drinking, the reminder of why you don't want to is not a thing not to like. It's the better side of you fighting to be heard. Oh, like that. Like that, Epi. The kid should be the host one night, says Peter.
That would be fun. You guys want to host a show one night?
Yes.
We can let him take over right now.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
For people in America who want to talk to us Australians are here when it's late in America. Oh, Desi, that's a great idea. Desmond, that's a great idea. So you guys, all right, Desmond, I'm going to expand on that a little more. I like what you said there. Facebook and YouTube, if y'all are listening, if you're struggling, our Facebook group is comprised of people from Ireland, Australia, and America and Canada, right? And there's some others in between. I think we're starting to get people from Japan now too. But Australia is on a completely opposite timeline. So it's daytime. Right now it's noon. It's noon in Australia. So if you're at night, it's 10 o'clock at night and you're struggling, reach out to one of our Australian friends. Maybe we can figure out how to put our national flag next to our names or something so that like, yo, it's late at night. America's sleeping. I'll bet you Desmond, Cherie, or Aubrey, or anybody else that's from Australia's awake. Maybe I can just IM them real quick and ask for some advice and some help. Great idea, Desmond. And likewise, if it's late in Australia, you know, us Americans are awake, reach out. Brilliant. Man, that's why you're here. Because we recover better together, just like Shauna said.
Cherie's going to put a link to their meeting tonight.
They have
on
a
the
meeting tonight?
Recovering Addict LT.
Yes, do anything like that. Sure, you know you can.
Oh, shoot, I missed your comments, John. I'm going to find them. I did ask you a question.
If any of you are thinking about drinking or drugging, pick up the phone and call someone. Get a sponsor. That's right, Shauna. Absolutely. Oh, they had COVID.
Yeah, I asked him if it started with a tickle in his throat.
Didn't he just go to the hospital for a fever? And they came with like suits and masks.
Yeah. They suited up like it was the plague.
He said yes. Dang it.
Who?
Started with a tickle in his throat.
Mr. Okamoto said it also helped to remember people that were often more forgiving than you might think. People are often more forgiving than you might think. Traits like honesty and humility make you more human and therefore more relatable. On the flip side, it is undeniably clear that you are in the wrong. Refusing to apologize reveals low self-confidence. Mr. Okamoto says, if it is clear to everybody that you made a mistake, digging your heels in actually shows people your weakness of character rather than your strength. Ooh, I like that. Who's got 11? Is that people with 11 years?
Yeah.
Keep coming back.
We ready to
Right?
say our prayer?
Yeah, posted.
Damn.
I just posted the prayer up there.
You did?
So you put it up so people can read it.
I will as soon as I see it.
Wait for it.
Is it coming? I feel bad now for unfriending my friends now that she was COVID, but it was my best interest that I felt guilty. Well, you don't have to unfriend her. Good night, brother. Get better. You'll be in our prayers.
Jeremy, you had the COVID too? You know both of us? Maybe.
Yeah, did he tell us where he was from?
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Jacksonville.
Maybe you know Neil. Neil's out there.
I have a friend out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Her name's Kristen.
Says yes.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And it started with a tickle. We're screwed. Don't touch me.
All right, ready? God,
God,
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
Another thing, dear Lord, I'd like to pray for all the suffering addicts out there. Please help them to get sober and stay sober, dear Lord. In Jesus Christ's name I pray, amen.
Amen. Love it, Linky.
Amen.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Good night, y'all. We will be here tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's Friday. What is our topic for tomorrow? We are on chapter 14. I think it's anger.
Oh, did you guys miss Cassie's quote?
No, we didn't. Yeah, chapter 14, addictive thinking. We're going to be talking about anger. Anger. But until then, y'all, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation, okay? Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.
Have you ever